weekly holy hour in front of the Blessed Sacrament. I started going to daily mass. I mean, the writing was on the wall, so it was, and then just random people coming up and asking me, hey, have you thought about, and I did start thinking about it. And
was Mom present there, like in a particular way as well?
Yeah, I think so. You know, maybe in the initial ones, it's just kind of everything swimming around in your head, so it's kind of hard to figure it all out. But with spiritual direction, yes, certainly.
Yeah.
And then into seminary, right? And in that time, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, IPF, right? We went through IPF together, right? And the 8-day, I mean, just amazing, right? So yeah, there was like an experience there in prayer on my 8-day where, here I am. If I'm rambling, just cut me off.
Oh no, go.
But yeah, right.
You're the guys that have to listen to it.
Sorry,
I'm
so sorry. I'll just apologize in advance. Irish. I just don't stop. Right? Yeah. Anyway, so there I am, and I'm like, I'm in my imagination, I'm praying, and because at this point in time, there was while I had kind of received, prior to my entrance into seminary, I'd kind of received a pretty like lightning bolt kind of moment, like a pretty like ridiculous grace of like, this is what the Lord wants from me. So kind of knew that, but like that doesn't mean I didn't like just then start wrestling with it at times, because again, evil one, right?
Yeah.
And so IPF was a summer where I was really wrestling with it.
Yeah.
Right, and 2 years into seminary, and it's just seminary, and it's a crucible at times, right? Not to say it's like not a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful for my formation, right? But like, there's just those moments, and I guess it's probably true with every walk of life, right? And so here I am, and I was just kind of wrestling with it, and I was on this 8-day, and in my imagination, I'm just like, see this. Again, this is just so. Don't get inside here because it's just a weird place. But there's like this. There's this cave, right? Like there's just this like rock face, like right, whatever, and there's a cave there, but it had like a storefront, like kind of like. Right, I know, it's just so weird. I don't know. So I'm like going to enter, right? And the door's open. Somebody's holding the door, and I go to step in, and it's like super dark. And it's that I can't commit because there's some fear in me. What's gonna happen if I actually go in there?
Yeah. And
I can't quite see it, right? And so I'm just stuck. I literally had 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah.
Which was really where I was at that moment, right? In my vocational kind of And so I was stuck. I was just stuck. And this is my prayer. And I'm like, well, there's literally nothing happening. So this is great. And then like, a little ways in, I just feel this hand kind of gently kind of like rest on my shoulder. And it was whoever's holding the door, right? Just puts their hand on my shoulder, just give me a little. And it was like just this peace, right? Total comfort, total peace, and like, all right, I can probably do this, right? I'll see what's in there. It's dark, I can't see a thing, right? I'll step in. So I other foot in, step in. As soon as I was all in, boom, it was like a surprise party, right? All the lights come on, right? Just total bright, just amazing. And here comes this little woman running towards me. And I was like, yes. I was like, I knew Mother Mary would be there waiting for me.
Yeah.
Except it was Mother Teresa. And I was so angry with her. And she comes up and she's like, gives me this hug. She's so happy for me. And I'm like, no. You're supposed to be Mother Mary. I was like, what are you doing here? I was just like, and who's upset with Mother Teresa?
Yeah.
Right? Like, absurd. And she just kind of smiled at me and just like, and she just pointed back to the door. Mom was the one holding the door for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so there's Mother Mary. She was the one that
there.
put her hand on me and gave me the reassurance and the courage and the grace through her. She's the mediatrix of all grace, right? To really take that final step and to step in.
Yeah.
And so again, it was just like that moment of like, all right, I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And Mom's got my back.
And isn't that like always the case too? Like whenever as I've been kind of going on my journey with this stuff, Mary is never somebody who like brings it like the attention to her.
No.
Right? It's
yeah.
like,
Right.
Of course, she would be the one like standing behind the door, like as it had been like swept open, because it's not about her. It's about like you entering into the celebration, the wedding feast, like being there with Jesus, and this. It's like whenever it's like that subtle intuition stuff, it's like that's very often like it's like there's way more fruit here than there should be for something this little.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just like that simplicity. It's like, oh, hey mom. What's going on?
Yeah. So exactly right.
That's awesome, man. So how I guess so what is your relationship with Mary, like how does it, as that relationship's grown, like how does that affect you, like day-to-day prayer life, like if you want, like before and after, like as a priest now, like because you already were kind of rooted in that a little bit.
I think it's like any other relationship. It just grows and deepens to different levels, and maybe, well, like you were saying, it's a sort of level of simplicity, right? And so there's just an ease of conversation there. That's not to say I have locutions. I don't, right? I'm like, I'm not sitting there having literal conversations with Mary all the time. But it's that I know I can just talk to her, right? I know I can always speak to her, and I know she's always listening.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no doubt in me that Mother Mary hears me every time. And it's just because it's just a constant. And so they're like, whatever's going on, it's like, Mom, like, I just need a little bit of help. Can you pray for this? Can you pray for that? Right?
Yeah.
Can you be with me in this? Like, just, again, like as we prayed at the beginning of it all, like wrap your mantle around me, right? Protect me in this moment. Hold me close. And through your immaculate heart, draw me deeper into the heart of Jesus. Like that's the whole goal. So I think as I've grown in my priesthood, I've just seen Mother Mary show up in just amazing ways. And like when I can take something and just hand it over to her, right, and just say, okay, like you need to deal with this because I clearly cannot, right? So
Mom, I left a big mess in my room.
Yeah, that's right. Can you please help me? I don't know how to do laundry. Oh, and she does, right? Maybe not right away, but in marvelous ways, she does.
And in ways you wouldn't expect sometimes.
Yeah. I always joke with people too. So I turn to Mother Mary in the confessional all the time.
Really?
And I always joke with people. She's gonna be like, seriously, why'd you always give me out as a penance? Like when you know what I mean? Like, well, yeah, but
it's like a passive aggressive thing.
Yeah. Maybe just in a joking kind of jocular way. They're just kind of do that, but yeah.
I man, if there isn't a sense of humor in heaven.
Oh, I don't stand a chance. Rough. Then I got a problem.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
So this kind of came to mind as you were saying that too, just like super brief, but for people that might be like non-Catholics or not really like Marian in any particular way that are Catholics, would you like super quick just kind of run through the difference between like praying with or through Mary and not to her? Like we get it, she's not God. She's not the fourth person of the Trinity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There is one God, and He is Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And that's it. Definitive. Boom. Right?
Done.
So, Mary is not God at all.
Yeah.
But she was chosen by God for a very particular purpose, which is to be the vessel that would hold God become man. And because of that, we see in her something just tremendously beautiful and wonderful, and we're so grateful, right, that she would offer herself in such a capacity as to be the conduit of grace, we could say, right? So I'm trying to think, is it Ligori who speaks in this way? But if you think of the aqueducts, right, in Rome, whatever, right? They are structures put in place to bring water from on high, the mountains, right, down into the muck, into the city, right, into the world, so to speak, right? And so in the same vein, right, we can see Mary as the aqueduct of grace, because it was through her that grace became incarnate and entered into the world to give himself. Right, and so we venerate Mary. We offer her all due respect and honor as being the one singularly chosen by God to act in this way.
Yeah. To
be a conduit to bring grace to us who are in need, right? And so we love her for that, right? And then on top of that, I mean, it would have been enough to just say, well, okay, I guess I'll rent you my womb, to put it really crassly, right? But that's not what she did either, right?
Yeah.
It was like, I'm with you in this for the whole of my life too.
Yeah.
And so she nurtured our Lord, taught him various things, and then remained with him even at the cross, right? And then offered her own heart in union with his for the salvation of souls. Yeah. And again, there she's receiving a singular grace from God to understand and to feel the weight that her son is carrying, right, in that moment.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of sorrow that Simeon spoke about at the presentation of Jesus, right? And she accepts that, she receives it, right? And so she is Our Lady of Sorrows, but she's sorrowful in such a manner of complete and utter confidence in Jesus and what he's doing, and in great love for him for that. And then accepts the role that he asks her to step into again.
Yeah.
Be mother of all those living in me, right? So the mother of all the baptized, the mother of, right, boom, of all these sinners.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, wait, I gotta trade the God-man who's perfect in every way.
Such a good boy.
I gotta trade him for all of these guys?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And she didn't, she would have never said it like that. It was always just, yeah, absolutely. If that means the salvation of their souls, 100% I'm in.
Yeah. Well, it's striking to me that interchange, because like as you go through the Gospels, it's, the crucifixion and the passion and death and resurrection. That's the exclamation point of God's love to us.
Yeah.
And so like if as Jesus is getting closer to the end of his earthly ministry before going into that,